Hi everyone, my name is Rishi and I am the founder of The Growing Home. The Growing Home is a model of suburban sustainable living. And what we've done is over the last year and a half, we have converted our own family home here in Diamond Bar, California into a model of what we feel suburban living will be like in the future. So the things that we've done, well, we started off with converting all of the land that we have available around our house, which is about 5,000 square feet, into growing all edibles. So we have things like, we have 50 fruiting trees and vines. We're growing over 50 varieties of vegetables. We are growing over 50 varieties of herbs. And we're growing all this food to feed our families, to feed our community, but most importantly, we're growing this food to teach other people how to do the same thing. We want people to grow their own food, to cook their own food, to eat their own food, and know what it's like to really feel that vibrant health that comes from eating healthy, organic produce. And so what we're doing now is we've just recently completed a complete renovation of most of the space that we have in our little urban farm. But what we'd like to do now is really make that push to turn this space into an educational playground. So that's why we came up with this name, the Food Education Playground. We want people to be able to come here, learn about growing food, learn about cooking food, learn about interacting with nature and living sustainably, and at the same time have a lot of fun. So we are going to convert this space, and actually it is the space that I'm sitting in, which used to be a concrete patio. We removed the concrete patio, and we're going to be converting this space into a really truly educational environment where children, teenagers, adults, seniors can come here and learn all of the things that we know, and all the things that our friends know, all the things that other people in our community know about growing food, about cooking food, about eating good food. So that is our proposal for this awesome grant, and I'm going to get more into that. But first, I want to show you around the growing home so you can really get an idea of what it is that we're doing here. So this is the very front of our house. It's right next to the sidewalk. So this is what people see from the street. And just to give you an idea of what we've done here, if you look beneath me, you're going to see this wood chip pathway. Well, this is actually what we call a bio-swale. So what we've done is dug out the ground beneath me and then filled it up with wood chips so that when water runs off of the slope, we can catch it in the ground here and let it spread out to the plants that have been planted along the edge. And then over here you can see that we've taken this slope, which was just a steep slope before, and we terraced it. And that's also to help us catch some rainwater that comes off of this slope, and to give us some more bed space so we can plant some more vegetables and make it easier to access that space. So this continues all the way back. We have steps going up into the next area. We have several fruit trees here. You can see this Valencia orange fruit tree right here. This is a sweet lime below me. So you can see right in the very front, lots of edibles all growing right here, right at the street side. So now this here is the front yard area right above the slope, which we just saw down there. And so you can see here we've got quite a little food forest going on. This is a spiral garden which we just built recently. And you notice the spiral garden was built using the same material as the terrace gardens out in the front. This is actually concrete that we cut up. We cut up our patio in the backyard, removed the entire patio, and used these concrete blocks to build several structures throughout the yard. So we have the spiral garden. We've got some very large squash plants and zucchini plants, a mango tree, an orange tree. Behind me there, the taller tree is called the jamun, which is a tropical fruit tree from India. And on this side we have 2 pomegranates. One of them is almost 22 years old, quite an old tree. So now we're going to move on to our fire pit, which is just over here. So again, we're still in our front yard, and this is our fire pit garden. So you can see right in the center here, we got fire pit and the logs around for seating. And then we've built this kind of raised bed going all the way around. And it's filled with all sorts of different stuff. So we have some strawberries and some beans, some squash, several large plants of African blue basil. We had some carrots growing in here before, and I think some tomatoes currently also. So this is a great space where we congregate, especially at our potlucks, kind of a very intimate meeting of the minds space. So that's the fire pit garden, and now we'll move in to our side yard. Okay, so we're in the side yard area, and the first thing you're going to see is a pretty large fig tree. It's come up from seed actually a few years ago, and this is our first year of a really heavy crop of figs, which we're just getting right now. This tree here is a strawberry guava, again fruiting very heavily this year. It's a small red guava with white flesh on the inside. Okay, we're going to move back. Then on my left side, you're going to see the Concord grapes, which are also fruiting right now. I'm just going to pick out a few. I've actually just picked quite a bunch today to make raisins, and these are just really good, amazingly sweet. The next thing you're going to see are the passion fruit. We have a pretty large passion fruit vine, and also fruiting just now. Okay, we're continuing back. You see it's kind of a very shady area back here. We have some very nice fragrant flowers, hibiscus above me, and then the next feature is our outdoor gray water shower. So this is still in progress, but you can see inside here it's just basically a walled area where you have a shower head inside, and the water from this shower drains out to the sides, watering the plants on either side of the shower. Very simple. And then the next thing you'll see, these large leaf plants here, you might recognize these are banana trees. And right in front here we have our first banana bunch of this year. It looks like it's going to be quite large. Pretty excited about that. And that's the end of this side yard. We're going to go into the other side yard first and then show you the back. So now we're in the other side of the house. This is the west side. And the first thing you'll notice as you come in is our beehive. So we just got our first beehive about 2 or 3 months ago. And they're doing really well. We added on our second box to the hive just a few weeks back. And we're hoping to get honey sometime in the winter this year. So we're very excited about that. And on the other side, you'll notice these large blue barrels. This is our above ground rainwater harvesting system. So in each barrel we can hold 55 gallons. So with 3 of them we got 165 gallons. And we'll hopefully be adding on a few more barrels to this system later. And then as we move back here, you'll notice this huge terraced area. So this whole slope starting from here all the way down to the wall in the very back edge of the garden used to be just a slope, and it was kind of covered with a lot of ground covers and bushes, and we weren't really getting much production out of it. So what we did this year was we terraced this entire area. So this area was the first area terraced. We did this out of broken concrete and bricks and granite rocks, which we recycled from a dump. And so now you see we have some stuff planted. We have soybeans and chickpeas here. We have several different types of berries over here, some white sage up there, and then blackberries also on the very top. You can see our very healthy amaranth plant, more like a little tree now. Some more, I think we've planted some more beans and chickpeas here. We're still waiting for those to come up. Some more amaranth. And then over in this area you'll see that this is kind of the second area that was terraced. So here we used the concrete blocks from our backyard patio. So that was used to create these different levels. We have a walkway going up there as well, so we can access all those different areas. This is a loquat tree here, and that's a bay leaf tree back there. So all the produce that comes out of the garden is consumed by us, and we also sell at local farmers markets. We're one of the only actually certified farms that's run out of a house in LA County. So again, okay, over here you see more terracing. Down here we have some eggplants and chilies, some basil, and then to the top there we just planted some Suriname cherries, which is a tropical fruit, and also some more passion. So that's it for the side yard area. We'll move on to the back, and that's where you'll see the area that's actually going to become the food education playground, and I'll give you some ideas about what's going to happen there. Okay, so we finally reached the backyard. This is probably the most exciting part of our garden, although the other places are great too. So this area, what we have is we have a persimmon tree and a sweet lime tree behind that, and you'll notice here in the persimmon tree area that we've planted a lot of things around the tree. This is a methodology we call gilding, where we plant smaller plants around the tree to help it grow, to provide it with nutrients, to maintain moisture. The other thing we've done is, just like I mentioned in the very front about the rainwater catchment in the pathways, we've done the same system throughout this whole area. So for most of the winter we do not have to water this whole area at all. The trees are completely self-sufficient, especially in the winter. They need no additional watering. The other thing we have is 2 raised beds over there. So those are kind of an area where we can intensively plant and intensively manage, instead of the kind of more relaxed atmosphere we have in the other parts of the garden. Behind me here, we just planted some. This is what is our summer vegetable garden for now. We have several tomato plants and kale plants and cucumbers. So that's what we got growing for the summer. And then this area was just recently redone. This whole area was raised up. The pathways were dug out just as in the previous area. And what we're doing is we've channeled underneath the pathways, there's channels which will direct water into a pond and wetland, which will be over here. So that's a project that's still in progress, and I'm going to take this time to let you all know that we do have a YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/thegrowinghome, where we have videos of all these different projects actually, so you can see how they progressed and all the different features that we put into them. Okay, so that's the raised bed area. Also, another thing I shouldn't forget is our animal run in the back. So we have 2 rabbits, which we use for converting a lot of our food scraps and weeds into manure. And we have now 5 chickens. One of them is laying eggs, and 4 are just about a month away, I believe now. So they get to run around that whole area. We feed them a lot of leftover scraps. We pick up juice waste for them. So we're really trying to not feed them any bagged feed, and just really use them to convert waste streams into food, which is eggs. So you can hear her crowing right now. Then the last thing I'm going to show you is our nursery over here. So right behind me here you'll see the Growing Home's organic nursery. We start most of our plants from seed in this nursery right here, and this is what we call a flood and drain nursery system. So each level of this system is connected, and so when we water the top of this, we can then flush the water from that down to the next level and to the next level. And there's a whole video on how we set this up on our YouTube channel. Again, it's youtube.com/thegrowinghome. Okay, so that concludes our little tour of the whole garden, and now I really want to sit down and talk about what we are going to do to turn this space into the food education playground. So now you've seen the whole tour of the Growing Home, maybe you have a little bit of better idea of what we're all about. So I want to get back a little bit to the details of what the food education playground is going to be like. So right here we're sitting in this space which I purposely kept open here, and that's because I wanted this space to be that really educational, really fun, really community-oriented area in the garden. And so there's a few problems with it right now. The one major thing is that in the summer when it's 95 degrees or 100 degrees, we can't be having activities out here in the full sun. So we definitely need to get a shade structure, something where we could provide shade but also grow plants. So we're thinking about doing an overhead trellis where we could grow some grapevines and some squashes and other large vining plants. The other thing that we really need is some kind of seating, because we have a lot of different events here, so we need seating that's flexible, something that we can put out when we need it and we can take out when we don't need it. We'd like to hold film screenings. We already do hold a lot of presentations here, so it would be great if we could have a projector and a microphone and some speakers here, so that when we're having these events you can really get some good visuals and people can understand better. And plus, you know, there's so many documentaries and we love to screen them here so that people can see and learn from those documentaries. And then just going on from there, I mean, there's so much that can be done here. We have so much space. So we really want to bring in the community, especially we have so many elementary schools nearby where kids could come here for a field trip. They could pull carrots out of the ground, they could pull potatoes out of the ground, they could eat tomatoes off the vine, they could smell all the herbs we have and really learn about the food that they're eating, and maybe learn that they're not eating a lot of these foods. So there's just a lot of work to be done and a lot of fun to be had. And so I would very much appreciate it if you vote for our idea here on the Good Maker for the Awesome Foundation. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you're a little bit inspired by the work that we're doing here at the Growing Home. Thank you.